So in high school, you've become a little bit more adult. And so you are in these different factions, but you learn a little bit of diplomacy to where, or at least the ones that I think that are trying to take the higher road, develop a little bit of diplomacy. I was involved in student government, so I had to talk to the jocks, and I had to talk to, the lowrider club, and the whole we had a mecha club. And those of you that are not familiar with that, mecha, it's an acronym, and I can't remember what it stands for, but basically it was the Chicano group, and the militant, the ones that actually are standing up, trying to stick up for themselves, and for their culture, which I respect. And I've heard racists say, well, you have this Hispanic, this Mecha club, and then you have this black club, and why can't we have a white club on campus, in our school? Because, and I say, well, it's different, because basically whites run everything, and I'm okay. I don't need a white club. Now, if there was a Irish group, that's okay, and I think that could qualify. If there was an Italian-American group that said, if there were enough Italian-Americans, we want our Italian-American club, and we'll trot out the float on Columbus Day and all that. I think that's okay. But to simply call your club the white club, no, there's a big difference. Yeah, once again, I completely lost my train of thought. This interrupting the video even makes it worse, doesn't it? So what was I talking about? It was a Mecha Club, and God, should I go back and watch the other video? Oh, it had something to do with, yeah, people on YouTube complaining it's like high school. So you go into high school, okay? And then for some of us that are lucky enough, we go on to college. And if you're a nerd, okay? If you're a nerd and you're one of those people that actually liked school, college can be so freeing. I mean, it's like finally you're put in a place where other people get you. I mean, maybe there was a few people that got you in high school because you're in some of these advanced classes, but you're pretty much like the jocks aren't the one that rule things. No longer are the jocks and the cheerleaders the ones that rule things. They're actually become like this smaller little group in college, and suddenly you're surrounded by much more people that get you, and you're not going to be actually being somebody that wants to learn and can show off their ability to recite whatever. You're not belittled for it. In fact, you're actually accepted and praised for it. So college is such a different thing. But then you leave college and you go back into the real world. And the real world is high school. And I don't know why people on YouTube complain that YouTube is like high school, because face it, the real world is like high school. All right? When you go to work at some company and you're dealing with all the same crap that you dealt with in high school. You really are. And I don't know how anybody can say anything. Is the real world all that great? No. And I'll tell you, and this is why people in the real world hate college, especially on the right. All those ivory towers and those people and those elitists. Because it's a special place. The university is a special place. It's a sanctuary from all the bullshit. Where actually ideals and thinking are actually admired. If I was born into money, and I would have just spent the rest of my life in the academic world. Because no matter how much they try to kick me out, my rich parents would keep me in. And that's what I needed. That's really what I needed. a license to get away with murder. Not murder, but, to license to get away with a lot of nonsense. And my rich parents would send me to another university. Of course, if I had a rich parent, they would be like, screw you, we're not spending all this money on you just to keep you in school. Friggin' get a degree, become a business major, go into the family business, and I'd be like, no, Dad, I want to study Greek mythology, man, okay? Well, you can't make any money at that. I don't know, man, but it's just what I like. I'm not into Greek mythology, but it would have been in the arts somewhere. I would have just kept kicking around the arts. Video making, photography, blah, blah, blah. Analyzing poems. The stuff that conservatives and the right and business type minded people hate, they don't get it. A great thing about becoming an artist, it's a great way to meet chicks. Oh yeah. Well, actually, I've pretty much talked myself out, and so I guess that's it. All right, everybody, have a great week, and thank you for watching Fractured Fez Night. Cheers.